Hello and welcome back. We're going to look now at the analysis and interpretation of our fitness test results. So by now you should all have a set of fitness tests that look like this table here. And what you should find is you should have tested at least 6 components of fitness, ideally just to give you a good range of results, which means that if you for example, if you're a sprinter, then you may think about focusing on strength as a key component of fitness, maybe power, speed, and then perhaps reaction time and other things as well. I've done just a generic set of results here, and as you can see what I've done in my table, I've compared them against the national average, which gives me an indication of how good my score is. You should be able to find these national averages in your textbook or online if you have a look on a Google search. It's really important to know that this fitness table, it shouldn't actually appear in your main body of your assignment. For this section, the idea is that you need to analyse these results, tell us what they show, and then ultimately interpret them and relate them back to your performance, and show that you understand how they impact your performance. Here's a good little sentence starter to get you going. So you could say, in order to assess my fitness and identify my strengths and weaknesses, I carried out multiple fitness tests. Okay, and to find those, you can see them. You find them in Appendix 2 in this case. Okay, so then my table would then come out of my main body of my assignment, and I would put it into my appendix for anybody to then refer to it when required. Alright, so after that, then, so once you've got your fitness tests in place, you then need to start your analysis and your interpretation. So from your set of test data, I would identify perhaps your 3 main components of fitness that you're going to analyse and you're going to talk about in your write-up. This could be maybe 1 strength and 2 weaknesses, or 2 strengths and 1 weaknesses, or just 3 components of fitness that you want to prioritise as a real focus for your performance. So what I'm going to do first, then, so I'm going to answer these questions as I go. This is going to help me structure my work much better. So how did I test this component of fitness first of all? What did I score on the test? And then how did my score compare to the national average? So if you look at my example below, this is a very structured example. So one of my weaknesses is power. I assessed my power using the vertical jump test, scoring 34 centimetres. This is below average when compared against normative data. Now that there is my analysis of one of my components of fitness. Now, for step 2, to interpret this information, I need to link it. So this result, if it's good, if it's average, if it's poor, what does this mean in terms of my performance? So certainly if I was assessing my power and I'm a sprinter, power is actually absolutely crucial in this performance. So power, I have put power is really important in sprinting when exploding out of the blocks at the start of the race. Now I could have put for the whole duration of the race. I could have put the power is important in the lower body and the upper body to really drive me forward as quick as possible, because ultimately 100 metre sprint is the quickest time wins, and that's what we're trying to get from this. So the key message then, to analyse your results, you need to talk about what component of fitness, how did you test it, and how does your score compare to the national average, followed by then links to your performance. Why is that component of fitness important, and what does that test result suggest? Now I did say that you should do this process for 3 of your test results overall, so 3 components of fitness that apply to your sport. So don't look at things if they're not quite relevant, because it's unnecessary at this stage. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples. There's various different ways that you can write this. So we've got this is a swim example that the exam board at Excel published, and very useful in terms of knowing what to put. And this example here for swimming was a real top band example, so it's good quality piece of work from a student. So here you can see it says comparing my fitness test results, normative data. They're in Appendix 2. My high activity levels have reflected in my results, coming in excellent or above average for all. So what they've done here, that you can see they've grouped their results, so they've looked at more than 3 fitness components, and they've referred to their results, because they're common, so there's lots of excellent results or lots of above average results, they've grouped them and brought them together. However, evidently from the grip test results, I'm assuming that's a hand grip dynamometer, as well as 34 push-ups in my fitness test, so that'll be the 1 minute push-up test, both placing me above average, although that's still quite a strong component of fitness. It's not as strong as the others, so upper body has been identified as a clear weakness. I've concluded that the restricting factor stopping me from improving my 50 metre freestyle is my pull, leading to my decision to use weight training. Okay, so they've even hinted there at what method of training they're going to be using. So, and then following that test results, they've just done that final little summary, which then extracts the main aim from the results analysis. So this athlete has decided to choose strength instead of agility. So they found that strength would be more beneficial, as this fitness component focuses more on my weaknesses from the fitness test results, whilst also being more specific to a 50 metre sprint in swimming. Okay. So you can see here that the moderators commented analysis of fitness tests has been completed. So that's clearly there to a good standard. Alright, I'm just going to show you another example, because lots of different variations and ways that you can look at this. This is an example of the rugby example that was published again by the exam board, a very useful document. So in rugby it's important to be strong, fast and powerful. Carrying out fitness tests, they can be found in Appendix 3, so again refer to the appendix for that testing table. Strength is important for pushing through defending opposition. Speed is a fundamental element of rugby and is beneficial for both attack and defence. Power is vital for generating speed in short distances, perfect for running, attacking lines. Now, as you can see in this section here, the rugby player has identified the main components of fitness and why they've actually selected those components of fitness to do their analysis on. And then below that, fitness tests revealed that my speed and strength are both excellent, whereas my power results were only above average, so good analysis there. Therefore, the focus of my PEP should be on improving my power to excellent, as having more power than my opposition will enable me to break the line more, increasing my chances of scoring, enhancing my game standard. So what they've done here is quite clearly they've said my fitness tests revealed, and they've showed how they compared to the national average, said that speed and strength were excellent, whereas power was slightly less effective. Therefore, the focus of my PEP should be on improving power, making it excellent, as having more power than my opposition will enable me to break the line more, increasing any chances of scoring and enhancing my game standard. So what they've done there is that interpretation, they've linked it back to performance, saying that if I did improve my power, I would be able to break the line more, increasing my chances of scoring. So that's linked to performance directly. That's a really good example of that. And what we'll do is just quickly we'll have a quick look at the marking grid, so we can see how this is assessed. So this is all about strand 1, interpretation and analysis of the pre-PEP fitness tests. So here, look, collect initial fitness and performance data. That's what we talked about. It's your table of data. Must be covering a range of components of fitness, but as long as they're relevant and specific to the candidate's sports performance. And here it says you must interpret and analyse the initial fitness and performance data to identify strengths and weaknesses from the initial fitness testing data and from the initial performance generated data. Alright, so what is the strengths and weaknesses? Select and justify a component of fitness, weakness to improve, with a statement of an aim intrinsically linked to bring about the best improvement in the candidate's selected sporting performance. So if you look at band 5, ultimately this is where we'd all like to get to. Excellent and thorough interpretation and analysis of fitness test results using appropriate data. Whereas if we flick down to like a band 1, it starts off as limited or little interpretation of fitness test results and data. So you may have put your results, you may have said whether they're good, average or above average, but you've not interpreted, so there's no link to performance in band 1. If you look at band 3 as a good interpretation and analysis of fitness test results using appropriate data, with some errors that have insignificant impact on the overall analysis. Okay, so Read into that what you will, but it's quite a straightforward approach. If you get that analysis and interpretation right, you could then ultimately do a really solid analysis. So I recommend no more really than 100 to 150 words, absolute max, and you must finish off with a good aim. And if we have a look for an example, somebody's done one here. This is a netball example. To increase my success rate of rebounds during a game, I would need to improve my power, especially my leg muscles, since these are crucial to gaining height when jumping. So I'm able to reach and intercept the ball. Over the 6-week period, I want to improve my result in my sergeant jump test by 5 centimeters. So this is a netball example. Somebody who's identified power as a weakness in their fitness test results analysis, which is up here, and they've decided to focus that, and they've wrote a clear aim there about what the aim of their plan is going to be. That's all from me, folks.